lads, welcome back to another video. Now, we have to address the elephant in the room. Dunfermline released 17 players. Now, this is a very sensitive subject due to the global pandemic we're all going through right now, which means that people are losing their jobs left, right and centre. So, to say that I'm not excited to talk about this subject in particular is an understatement. So guess what? I'm not gonna. Well, kinda. What I'm going to do though is have a bit of creative fun whilst also kind of touching on the subject generally. And we're going to have that creative fun by creating a graphic for 3 of the players that were included on that infamous list of released players from Dunfermline Athletic. So, the challenge is set, I'm ready, so let's go. Right, so as you can see at the side of me right now, got my iPhone at the ready to get the graphic going. Let's get into this. So first up, we need to make this a square. Now, do that. I've kind of had a wee idea mopped up in my head here, so I'm going to go for this image of East End Park. Make it big, about that size, and do that. Make it black and white, and then we will put a white opacity layer over it. Let's go for about half and go to 16 by 9 and twist it so that we can do separate images of these players. Now, we're going to do Lee Ashcroft, Paul Payton and Tom Beadlin within this graphic. So, first image there, Lee Ashcroft. Another one of Lee Ashcroft, because I think we're going to do 2 images per player here. So, that's the 2 Lee Ashcroft ones done. Paul Payton. There he is, the captain. And then finally, 2 images of Tom Beadling. And then the final Tom Beadling image. There. Right, and then we're back onto this. Now, this is the point where I need to make a template to go over those images that I just created. You'll see what I'm about to do. So we go back into this layout, make it black, and then go down to finalize, border, and we want to make the white border relatively thick. I'd say about that. So let me save that, go back onto these individual images, put a white opacity layer on them of about 50, let's say. Use the mixer tool again and go across to screen, and then you have that, and I'll turn the opacity down on this to around about 60 and the final one at 60. Then we need to go over to the editing app, line upper, select them and put them next to each other basically. That's the main thing that this app does, is just place images next to each other and then you can save them like so. So I'll be doing that for all 3 of the players and then putting them next to each other as well. So there you go. We're going to do this and put the 6 of them in the centre. In fact, before I do that then, you can see that that kind of hides a bit of East End Park, so I'm going to just make that a wee bit bigger, do it like that, and then put them in the centre like so. Then I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom, put this shadow in just below, and do the same again, but above. Then we're going to go in with the better images of the players, the full body kind of celebration images, the best ones I could find. Now for Lee Ashcroft, of course we have to do the celebration against Ayr, because I mean, he's never really going to score a better goal than that in his full career probably. Now there is a lot to actually erase for this, so it might end up a bit sketchy. It's just a lot of background to get rid of, and it's not like the best picture for just like doing this quickly, but I'll try and do it as quick as possible. So obviously the whole purpose of this is just to go right round Lee Ashcroft and take out the background that we've currently got there. So then we end up with just a transparent image of just Ashcroft celebrating to go in front of his images that we've already placed within the graphic. I've been doing this for quite a few years, so like get better at doing it quicker and not worrying about specifics and taking ages to do things. This is how I create my thumbnails as well, using this editing app. So if you're interested in knowing how I edit and stuff like that, then this gives you a decent enough insight, because it's probably a bit more complex than most of the thumbnails that I do. Found ways of making it work for me, and that's kind of how you need to look at editing. You need to do things that work for you. So there we have it. There is Lee Ashcroft cut out. Now he can be placed right there, and we'll move on to Paul Payton. Now the image that I've got of Paul Payton is when we played Celtic and he came over to the fans at the end, and as you can see in the image, he's pointing up to us. Great day out that, brilliant away day. So once again, we're just kind of going through this and making sure that everything's erased from around him. We just end up with a fully transparent background with Paul Payton being able to be placed anywhere within the image. I enjoy doing it, so that kind of makes it work for me. Like, I don't mind sitting rubbing out a background like this, and obviously there's a lot to kind of rub out. You need to make sure every detail is still kept within the player and stuff. So, you know, if designing kind of isn't for you, then I wouldn't recommend trying to do graphics in this manner. But if you want to get into designing, then I would recommend the app Inlight. And unfortunately this version of Inlight has been taken off the App Store. It's only available to people that still had the app before it was taken off. So you can get Inlight PhotoFox, which is basically just the same as this but a paid version, and some minimal changes to the app as a whole. So if you're interested in editing, then I would recommend this app. Right, so as far as I can see there, that is now Paul Payton cut out, and he can be placed around about there. Let's put him in line with Ashcroft actually. So it's around about there. And now finally, Tom Beadland. There is only one image we could use of Tom Beadland for this season, and again it involves Celtic away when he scored that glorious goal that made me cry. Cheers Tom, cheers for the memories. Right, and as you can see, we're almost done with Tom here. It's been a very long process, this one, and the other two as well. To be fair, there was a lot in the backgrounds of all of them. I think Lee Ashcroft's is probably the cleanest background, so it's not been the easiest of removing, but it's just one bit I've missed there. And there is Tom Beadland, who can go. One of his arms will just have to go off the screen, but there we go. And a little feature I always like to put in, shadow below the players. It's just a nice wee added feature, and you go in and remove it from over their feet and make sure it goes under. And the same with the other two players that are left in this graphic. And just like that, you have a shadow under the three players. So we're going to save that and then go on to my fonts app, which is called Fonto. Take the image, Lee Ashcroft, and then grab a font that is sort of signature like. That looks quite good. Turn that up a bit and then add a little shadow at the back of it, a white shadow. Paul Payton, and the same, just add a white shadow. And Tom Beadland. Add a white shadow. There you have it folks, there is my graphic for these three players. Now, I'm not entirely sure how long that actually took me. It's recording at the moment 21 minutes, so I'm going to try and record this down, and then I'll see if there's any more time to have a couple of minutes chat about the players being released and my overall thoughts on it. I'll be back with you soon. Right, I hope you enjoyed that little difference. Obviously, I never edit on this channel, like edit photos and stuff like that, so if you want to see more of that, let me know in the comments below. If no, then just tell me so, and I'll know that you didn't want to see any more of it. But in terms of my opinions on the Dunfermline players being released, it's a sickener really, because obviously the situation that we're currently in means that these players had to go because the future of the club is sort of at stake. Obviously there's certain ways that the clubs could have went about it, like you've seen clubs like Wraith Rovers, I think Dundee have done it with a couple of their players as well. They're offering extensions for about a month or so to cover the furlough scheme, etc. Dunfermline could have went down that road, but for whatever reason we didn't decide to do that. It's a difficult situation, and it's one that, as I said, it's not an easy one to sit and talk about, hence the reason why I've changed up the whole kind of mood of this video, and I chose to edit photos of them instead of sitting ramble on about it for 10 minutes long, because I just feel like it's too sensitive a subject to go over and over and over, because everyone's going to have their own opinion on it, and me personally, I just didn't want to say anything that's going to make me sound horrendous in any sort of way, or make me seem like I'm up the club, for want of a better phrase. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Gutted for the players that have been let go. Ultimately, if it were down to me in a normal season, I probably would have kept 3 of them perhaps. Danny Devine, one of them, Paul Payton being another, and Lee Ashcroft. Tom Beadland could have been in with a shout, but he's been a bit inconsistent in terms of his injury record, etc, etc. So, as I said, a bad situation for all, but football clubs have to survive in this time period. It's vitally important. But aye, that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Comment down below your thoughts on Dunfermline releasing as many players as they did. Do you think they were right in just releasing them? Comment down below also if you want to see more of this type of video where I edit graphics, etc. And subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.